Hello, and welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of March 25th. I've commented on this before, but time is going fast. Is it just because I'm old? Is that why? Because it was February just 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now it's the freaking end of March.
Mm-hmm.
Deep breaths. Got my taxes done, so I don't have to panic about that. It's okay.
Yeah.
Time goes by. Paycheck coming. End of the week. Okay. I'm Terri Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Holeko.
Hello.
For a weekly episode to talk about parenting in a roundabout way, along with a little pop culture. And speaking of pop culture, a thing I have been doing this week, aside from watching I'm Just Ken over and over and over again because it makes me happy, I have been watching the Taylor Swift Eras concert on Disney Plus, which my daughter pays for because I quit Hulu and Disney in a snit, but I still get to sneak on and watch things anyway on her dime. But it is really something, as one could glean from reports of people who had actually been to the concerts.
Right.
And watching it on a screen, not as thrilling as being there, of course. But you don't have to make friendship bracelets if you're just sitting there sitting by yourself. So, and it
but
also,
you could.
You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. I suppose I could make myself a little friendship bracelet, couldn't I? If I was 22, but I'm not. People on Twitter I've been following call themselves Senior Swifties if they've been following her for a long time. And they were comparing notes the other day and they were saying like, yes, I'm 30 and I'm a Senior Swiftie. Like, oh, baby. Like,
wait a minute.
Can we have another? Because I always thought it meant like old people like myself who enjoy like actual seniors.
Well, you used to call yourself an over 50 Swiftie.
Yeah, now I'm over
clever.
60 Swiftie, which doesn't rhyme.
But you're still over 50.
That's true. I will always and forever be over 50. Right. That is true. I remember those heady days when just over 50 before my body started falling apart. But anyway, Taylor's body is pretty amazingly able to like sing and dance and run around for a very long time. Mm-hmm. This is a long concert. There has not been an intermission yet. I have not even watched it all. This is when I decide I'm going to watch it at night and then I fall asleep. So then I watch some more the next day. So little by little, I am knocking this thing off. Right. But it's 3.5 hours.
Wow.
In which she is on 100% of the time, except for extremely brief costume changes. There's obviously some layering going on because she just goes away. Things go dark for a second. And here she is wearing something completely different. Right. So it's just an impressive feat of showmanship, if nothing else. But of course, the songs are wonderful and she performs them well. There's dancers, choreographed by Mandy Moore, who's been our friend on many shows. And just the spectacle of it, I can see how it would be absolutely thrilling to be in the arena watching that, even if you cannot see her exactly other than a dot on the stage a mile away from your seat. They have these huge screens that have her on it and other things sometimes, visual effects. And it's just, you can see why it's been such a thing because it's a lot. Mm-hmm. And good for her. Yeah. She is a show person and just really well thought out and planned and organized and executed. Right. Occasionally they pull the camera back and you could see these huge arenas she's in, just like a sea of lights fading out into the distance of people in their seats. Right. And it reminded me of many years ago. I was in my 20s, so like maybe 40 years ago, I saw a Bruce Springsteen concert at, I think it was the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And so I was far enough back. I was like way at the opposite end of the stadium from where Bruce was. Right. And it could have been anybody. It could have been a stand-in. I would have had no idea. They could have just piped in his music over the 3-story high amplifiers. But now they have screens so you can see what's going on stage. Theoretically, I mean, I guess it could have been something else, but and you can still feel like part of it, even if you are sitting, one disastrous fall away from the parking lot. Right. So it's really fun to watch, even if it's not as thrilling as actually being there. Mm-hmm. I've been impressed by what a show it is.
Yeah.
And how many moving pieces there are. And this is a person my daughter's age who has mastered this art of giving a show to a humongous audience and thrilling each and every one of them, even the dads who are there with their kids.
Yeah.
So kudos to her. And it's fun.
It's pretty
if
amazing.
you have access to Disney Plus, go check it out. You can watch it over a number of nights, apparently. I got 40 minutes left. So whatever happens in the last 40 minutes, I don't know. But everything leading up to that, really cool.
Yeah. Well, I imagine there'll be some kind of big finale at the end.
I would think so.
So it's going to get even better.
Hard to think what they could top of all the things they've done so far.
Right.
There's just really so very much to it.
Yeah.
And impressive. I've always liked her music, but she's also, her showmanship is quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
Showpersonship.
Awesome. I think we can still say showmanship. Well, it's a wonderful companion to the season of Girls5Eva that we watched.
Is it though?
A little compare and contrast with the girls and the tour that they do. This season was devoted to them going on tour, and it was just as ludicrous and hilarious as the previous two seasons, and did of course culminate with a concert at Radio City Music Hall attended by 6 people, including, their bus driver, Dawn's family, and 2 randos who just bought the tickets because they were expensive. So
yeah,
it was very fun, I thought.
Yeah, I wonder, I watched, unlike the Taylor Swift concert, I watched these all in one sitting. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they do better spaced out.
Okay.
I think maybe just the one after the otherness of it, just after a while, I was kind of like, okay.
But it's only 6. It's not like...
I know, but it's like a 3
12.
I very much appreciated that the episodes were like 24 minutes because I left it for the last minute to watch them.
Right.
So actually I did 2 sittings because I did 2 last night before we're discussing this, and 3 last night and 3 this morning. So, but it just seemed like it didn't thrill me the way they did before. I don't know why. Might be me. Might be. I felt like if I had been watching these one a week, I might have enjoyed each one more than just the whole bunch of them together.
Right. Than feeling like I got to get to all of these.
Yeah. And just that it's sort of, I got a little tired of it after a while. But
life on the road.
24 minutes a week, I probably would have enjoyed them a lot more. So I saw somebody had tweeted, Joe Reed, who does the
This Had Oscar Buzz
podcast, I noticed, tweeted out that he was gonna like space these episodes out, but then he realized that Twitter would be telling all the jokes before he got a chance to get to the episode, so you would have to watch them all at once. So if you're not worried about that, maybe just watch one at a time.
Right.
Let it perk in your mind for a week before you watch the next one. It just, each one has so many references and in-jokes and sillinesses, which is enjoyable. But then if you watch them all at the same time, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drive-by shootings of various cultural things. And, maybe sometimes you just want to lie down and you just want to put a trucker hat on and sit in a pasta restaurant and
that's right, hide from the world. What were they called? Macaroni Rascals or something? Was the name of the restaurant. Yes.
That was a mega star singer that they met, but Gloria did not realize who he was. And when the others saw him, his cover was blown. But, sometimes you just want to back away from fame, pretend to be killed in an air crash and go through the rest of your life with fox's teeth.
Fox's teeth. Oh, Oh, so silly. So
It is
silly.
a very, very silly show. It is a proudly silly show. It is an aggressively silly show.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, the accumulation of silliness was oppressive after a little while. So I wonder why they dumped them all at once. I wish they had spaced them out. But
yeah, it's like seems to be so little rhyme or reason to how they decide to do that,
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, the character motivations too also. But yeah, it's just a vehicle for having fun with popular culture. And which is fine.
Right. Yeah, I did go back and watch the last. I went back and watched the last episode of season 2, which is when they were about to go on tour, but they each had like sort of a personal reason not to. They each had like somebody tying them to home, and then they kind of went through and overcame all of those, and that was also the episode with. Yeah, that was the episode with the like physical fight between Gloria and the property broker,
which was wonderful.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I went back and watched that, which was, to kind of get myself into
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Into the mode to remember what was happening.
Right.
So that was fun. And yeah, I mean, you don't go to this for realism because, why wasn't anybody else at the concert besides Dawn's family? Why wasn't the lunch lord there? And why wasn't
That's right.
Stevia and Kev there? They didn't want to pay those actors for that.
Yes.
But they did show up later in the episode when they brought the baby home from the hospital.
Yes.
The 3-month-old baby that was supposed to be a newborn.
Don't ask too many questions.
No, I know. You cannot.
Yeah.
But it was fun that Summer kind of saved the day with her callback to some stuff from earlier in the episode.
Yes. The tooth whitening stuff was pretty funny. Even before she started glowing, those white teeth were pretty unsettling. Not quite right. But yeah, that was funny. We met Wiki's parents and they were delightful.
Yeah, that was very much in our lane of Wiki complaining, like, you coddled me and now I'm not successful. It's all your fault.
You were too supportive. And they just roll with it all. They're just, okay.
They agree to buy, like, whatever 100 boxes of tooth whitener. And then when Dawn tells them they have to kick Wiki out, they're like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And then he gets to buy his boat.
But I couldn't figure out, they were in Fort Worth, and then they seemed to be taking a bus tour all around the Bible Belt type area.
Right.
And then they went to Maryland.
Yes.
Those places aren't adjacent.
No.
I mean, I could see if she was from someplace in the general middle of the country.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense, wouldn't it have? If they're going to go to Maryland, they might as well just go home.
Right. Well, and then they went to Harrisburg. That's even closer to New York than than Maryland.
Right.
I think they just continued onward from there. I don't know. I mean, if you look at like musicians' tour dates, I don't know about Taylor Swift, but if you just happen to like, sometimes they don't make any sense to me. Like, they'll be in Minneapolis and then they'll be in Chicago. Okay, that makes sense. And then they'll go to like, Phoenix, and then they'll go to Detroit, and you're like, well, you were just here. Like, it would have been, So I don't understand how that works.
It's just nothing in this show bears thinking too much about.
No, you're really You really can't do
it. It's when she said, I know a place we can go, I assumed that it would be in the general vicinity of where they were.
Yeah.
But maybe they'd been driving east all that time, and so it wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
Had we seen that guy Percy before, their driver? Was he in that last episode?
He might have been in the last episode from season 2. He probably was. He was on 30 Rock, like the whole entire run of 30 Rock. He was on it. Okay. So that actor, obviously, not him being how he Percy, the bus driver. That's not how
he knows the Girls5Eva, but right. Okay. He just seemed to be in a lot of this, and it's like, who are you, sir? Have we met you before? Are we supposed to know? Am I supposed to remember who you are? But it doesn't matter. Don't think about it.
Right.
It's just let the funny wash over you.
Mm-hmm.
But in smaller doses than 6.
Than 6 chunks at a time.
Just give yourself a little breathing room in between. Get a little oxygen. I did enjoy Richard Kind very much, just showing up as completely randomly showing up as himself. As and the guy who's in everything, and can advise them on the appropriate level of fame to still have a
life.
It
needs to be medium time. Yeah. And then it turns out that he wasn't even on the set. That he was just walking by and he saw the craft.
He just recognized his set.
Like, I'm going to help myself to some of these bagels and fruit and whatever else they got here. And he knew exactly how to like blend in with the with the set.
That was charming. Delightful star turn there. For whatever reason. Maybe he just wandered onto the Girls5Eva set and they said, well, while you're here eating bagels,
you can film something.
However it happened, I'm glad it did.
That's right. Yes.
Wonder if Netflix will make another season of it, or if we're just going to leave them there in the medium time without knowing whether Wiki takes advantage of her.
Yeah, it was like to have a song in
Newfound heat.
Right. A song in a Garfield movie, I believe, was what was being offered.
Right. A female Garfield movie, I think.
Oh. I missed that.
I could have heard it wrong, but that's what I think they said. Something along those lines.
Okay.
But whether we see them again or not, we wish them well.
That's right.
And always entertaining, even if they don't have a ginormous screen in their concerts and an arena full of people.
They did have a screen, though.
They did have a screen. That's right. They did have a screen.
They had a screen, and while Dawn was singing the Medium Time song, there were all this cute footage from the tour. It actually, just like the 2 vested randos in the audience, I kind of welled up a little bit.
Yeah. Is that just something that Radio City provides for whatever entertainers happen to be there? Do you need a screen? We'll put the screen down.
Right.
Please cut together a video for us to project upon it.
Yeah. Well, that's part of what Percy's job was to be filming all the time. So.
That's right. Anyway.
Silly.
Yes. Very silly.
Yes.
Purposefully silly.
Right. And that will provide you with the segue.
Okay. Do you have for Catherine's Library Find of the Week? Have you found something purposefully silly?
I have. And it's once again nonfiction for children. And
nonfiction.
It's for children.
Okay. Yes.
And it is a series called Who's Pooh? Pooh in the forest, Pooh in the jungle, Pooh on the farm.
And we're not talking about Winnie the Pooh. We're talking
about
Who without the H at the end.
Yes. In the forest, in the jungle, on the farm, on the savannah. So you can learn about all the different animals that are native to those places and what their poop looks like and what you can learn from the poop.
So important.
I mean, once again, people are so smart about knowing what will sell to children. And, it's science.
Here's your science fair project, honey.
Yeah. And they do owl pellets. They do, So yeah, I once again, I was like, yep, good thinking. You came up with one idea, you figured out a way to make it into 4 different books. And I'm on the publisher's website, and to buy 4 of these reinforced books, like sturdy, so that you can use them in a school or a library.
Right.
It's $80.
Oh my gosh.
That's sounds like a lot. If you buy them, obviously one at a time, they're $20. I mean, and they're just,
wow.
They're probably only, let's see, how many pages? 24 pages.
Oh my gosh.
That's $1 a page. Anyway.
That's your school library funding tax dollars at work there.
That's right. But as we've said before, if it gets a reluctant reader to be like,
that's true.
I want to read that. It's worth it.
Yes, you will get, if you have a reluctant reader, you'll get to the stage where it's like, I don't care what it is, I will read about it, give me the book. But you're going to, that one is going to be particularly difficult. Okay, we can read about poo.
Poo in all kinds of places.
They don't have, what mouse droppings look like in your kitchen, do they? Because I maybe could use that one. We got a mouse.
Well, it doesn't. There's not in the kitchen. There's no poo in the kitchen. It's poo on the farm, in the jungle, the savannah. So you're out of luck when it comes to the kitchen.
In so many ways. I caught one and set it free, but I think there's another one.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it because it's touched everything in my kitchen.
Yeah, you'd think that the dog would scare those critters away. But
I don't.
It's happened to us before too, certainly. Yeah.
I'm thinking about cats now. Maybe a cat would be able to take care of the problem. Probably we need an exterminator to take care of the problem, but I don't even want to think about how much that costs.
Right.
But just one little guy we had, and there was this tiniest little mouse, and it actually ran all over the living room with us sitting there and watching it.
Oh.
So it was not scared of us really at all.
Right.
But fell for the, hey, here's a box with peanut butter in it. I wonder what's inside it.
Slam.
Yeah. So, but last night, turned on that terrible experience of turning on the light in your kitchen and seeing something move.
Seeing something scurry away.
Exactly. So,
yeah. I've had it where we can hear it. You know, you hear just the little scritch, scritch, scritch.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know it's in here somewhere. It gets behind the stove, behind the refrigerator.
The stove seems to be the hangout.
Yeah, because that's where the crumbs are.
Right. Yes, our housekeeping is probably the reason we have mice, but...
Well, trust, we have had them as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a little digression.
A little digression from the poop on the farm. Yes. Let's distract you by taking a spin through the archives to see what we were talking about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and 9 years ago this week.
Oh my.
So 5 years ago, it was 14 Ways to Ruin Your Kids' Lives, which was prompted by a cartoon from Annie Kurzweig. Annie, get your gum on Instagram. But this reminded me, now I've been following this person on Instagram called The Leighton Show, Leighton. Okay. And he just does text of kids texts and messages and teenagers, and it is so funny, because they'll call it he'll do a themed one about driving or whatever, and it'll be can I drive with roller skates on? I'm out of windshield sauce. On and on. And just, they're so funny. And I sent one to my sister who doesn't have children, and she was like, are these real? And I said, yes, that's what makes it so funny. I can absolutely 100% believe that these are real. I can fully see a teen or young adults coming up with this stuff. Oh, my word. It is very amusing. But I think, I'm no more able to not ruin my kids' lives 5 years down the road.
My son is still constantly telling me, you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me for just really talking to him, basically.
Right. Well, because his friends might find out.
Yeah, his friends, none of whom are at our house.
Right. Exactly.
Telepathically, they will know that Andrew's mother is singing in her house and judge him for it.
Yes. How embarrassing. Unbelievable that you would do such a thing, Terri.
I'm on Disney Plus singing and everybody's seeing it.
Everyone in the tri-state area. Oh, there goes Mrs. Morrow.
My mom used to whistle in the supermarket where people could hear her, and that was legitimately humiliating to me, even though she was a phenomenal whistler. But still, stop! Would you stop that? But now I can't even sing in the privacy of my own home without publicly humiliating my children. I don't sing that bad.
No.
I sing pretty good. Now, I can see, I used to sing along with the music in the grocery store, and I can see them being annoyed by that, but at home, come on.
Yeah.
Someplace.
Exactly.
But I don't know what else I'm doing to ruin their lives yet, just now. The fact that my daughter has moved downstairs and is no longer, exposed to me constantly 24/7 probably means that her life is significantly better. But,
do you think that's improved things for everyone?
Yes, just all the time with the boy who just turned 31, and is still humiliated by me on a regular basis.
Right.
Stop that. Don't say that. Don't touch me. Don't touch my things. Don't touch this. Don't touch that. He's a great kid, and he loves me, and we're a happy family, but I just am irritating, apparently, effortlessly. Effortlessly irritating. That's a gift, right? You don't even have to try.
Take pride in that. Yeah.
You're breathing. Oh, well. That's a parent's job, right?
Yes.
Just like
I do believe it is.
Girls5Eva. You ruin their lives by being supportive and loving.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you going to do?
Right.
You have to come to a point where you just enjoy ruining their lives. It's like, oh, you hate when I do that? I'll do that some more.
Right. Let me show you how it's done.
The second verse, same as the first. I was trying to sing that song the other day, and he was very upset.
Oh, well. Yeah, that one's
a Striped Skunk is a timeless classic and so enjoyable to sing.
Which one?
I'm a little striped skunk sleeping under someone's bunk. No one wants to play with me. I'm as stinky as can be. Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder and a whole lot worse.
I know the second verse, same as the first, a little bit louder, but I haven't heard it applied to the skunk thing.
In my generation, it was part of the I'm a Little Striped Skunk song, which you could sing on a bus for a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
Get extremely loud. Say a little prayer for those bus drivers. God bless them.
Yeah.
100 bottles of beer on the ball is definitely worse, but I'm a Little Striped Skunk can get out of control.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
I tried to sing on top of spaghetti the other day because we were having spaghetti and meatballs, but that too was excruciating for the young man.
It was not welcomed.
It was not welcomed.
In the manner that it was offered.
You're embarrassing me.
Right here at my own dinner table. You're embarrassing me.
Hold on to your meatball and don't ever sneeze. This is good advice.
Right.
Just
would
takes
you
a
say
long
that
time
he
to get there. You have to go through the whole song before you can
right? Well, would you say that he was angry? Because that's what we were talking about 6 years ago. The anger styles of our family members and ourselves and how they mesh or do not mesh.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still probably about the same places with that. I am much more likely to make an outburst. My son also will usually make somewhat of an outburst. My husband just, we all do outburst at some time or another, I guess.
Right.
But
you know that's everyone's modus operandi.
We're generally a family who it would be really good if nobody had any outbursts, because at least 3 of us don't like it.
Right.
I just really don't like it. Unless it's me, in which case I got it.
Right. In which case it's necessary and it's harmless.
I don't know. Yeah, anger's a difficult issue here. And so we try to just not talk about it or pay any attention to it. What's the next topic? How are things at your house with that? You have many fewer people in the house right now to get angry.
That is true.
Kids get angry at a distance?
No, not really. They're pretty good about that, I would say. And yeah, I mean, so that just leaves the old married couple to bicker and fight as we do. Like we watch The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
And they always have couples on there that deal with stress in different ways.
Yeah.
And, we're always saying like, yeah, no, there's no way. There is no way. And some of them are like, it's a test of your partnership. And others are like, it's a way for us to get closer. I'm like, is it? It really depends on the couple, man. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you can just use it as a cathartic way to clear the air and then move on from there, but that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard not to have resentment. But.
Yeah, it's just, no.
I don't know if this was a tool I had in my anger arsenal when we last discussed this, but I find now what I like to do when I'm angry is I go into my room or my office now. I slam the door because that's very satisfying. Mm-hmm. And then I play. We've talked here about the artist Hardy, who I'm very fond of, and how he's recently gone into rock and roll, and that with the rock songs come a lot of cursing. And so I put on one of his albums and turn the volume way up. I put on one of his albums. How old am I? I find one. I call up his music on my phone. And I play it super loud, and I sing along all the curse words at the top of my lungs, and it suits me. Mockingbird and the Crow album, people.
It does not hurt anyone.
Well, it embarrasses my son, but...
Well, yeah.
I need to soundproof my room so that the singing is not audible.
Right.
But, just nothing like loud rock music to just kind of calm you down.
Yep. Yes, I think we've talked it's come up at one point on the podcast that there's this song by Ben Folds 5 called Song for the Dumped. Yeah. And it's just this, protesting the injustices of having been dumped. And it is a great one to just... sing aloud and play air drums when you're when you're mad about something. Yeah.
The gift of music.
Give me my money back. Is one of the lines, and the rest I'm not going to repeat right now.
Oh my! Yes. I have to mention, since we talked about it, I think on the last episode and or a recent episode about cursing. Mm-hmm. The song, the Benjamin Franklin song from one of the Hamlet tapes.
Yep.
There's a new miniseries going to be on Apple TV Plus with Michael Douglas playing Benjamin Franklin. And I'm watching this thing and he's never not going to be Michael Douglas to me. So
Right.
walking around in a long white wig. And I'd be like, oh, how much would I love it if he just came out with, I'm Benjamin effing Franklin. That should be the theme song for this thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why, who, what that is, I have no idea. But
and I'm sorry, but has he worked lately? Like,
have we when he comes back in
seen him
a costume drama?
Yeah. I just feel like I kind of thought he was retired.
I just saw that on IMDb and I said, what now? And I hit the thing to watch the preview, and it was quite a lengthy preview of him in this period drama with that, with that voice that I know being Benjamin Franklin. Alrighty then.
Interesting.
Please use this song from the Hamill tape as your theme song. I dare you.
Or are they going to do like a CeeLo Green where they change the lyric and it's really just, it's not the same. It's
not the same. No. It has, I mean, it's on Apple TV Plus. They can curse.
Yeah, they have swears on there. Absolutely.
I bet they do. I bet that movie has it, or that show or miniseries or whatever the heck it is. Apple is just throwing things out at such a regular rate that I lose track.
Yeah.
But I have watched Shrinking about 25 times, so.
Oh, that was so good.
It was. I miss it.
Yes.
Maybe time to watch it again when I finish the Taylor Swift concert in like a week or two.
Right. Gotta take your time.
Yeah, savor it.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch it over and over again because it's on Disney Plus.
That's right. Another savvy marketing move.
That's
by
right.
Taylor Swift.
Yep, she knows what she's doing. That girl, who is the same age as my daughter, freaks me out. Anyway. And then we talked about restaurants, did we?
Yeah, we talked about like how restaurants needed a rating system that would tell you what's going on in the background, what's the noise level, what's the self-flushing toilet situation.
Yes.
Do they have sesame seeds on the hamburger buns? Because pro or con, we just need to know these things when we have little kids. So I thought that was good. They have like apps for like how to find public toilets and stuff. Right. So this would be just how to find restaurants for families.
There was a time, I just had a flash of memory from my childhood, my very young childhood, when my mother and a friend of hers kept talking, mostly jokingly, but still, about doing a book of ratings of bathrooms in restaurants and public places. Because, maybe you want to go there, but maybe you don't.
Right.
So it's been that long since people have been talking about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't go out to restaurants that much anymore. We do order in.
Yeah.
And when we do go out, stuff's gotten so expensive. I mean, it's everywhere. It's the grocery store. Everything has gotten so expensive. But man, we went to a diner the other day with our friends, and it's like everything on the menu was like $13, $14, $15 for a sandwich.
Yeah.
And you don't expect that from a diner. You expect that if you're going to a fancier restaurant. But of course, the fancy restaurants, it's $20, $30, $40.
Yeah.
And it just makes it less fun to go out, I guess. And I understand, materials are getting more expensive. Labor is getting more expensive. Everything is going up.
Right.
Grocery store is going up. But it's just always such a jolt when you get a menu and everything is like an order of magnitude higher than you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
Every now and then we order out from a place that has like a special deal for family meals and it's quite reasonable. But other than that,
right. Yeah, it's definitely a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went the other day and grabbed a sandwich from Panera and, first of all,
gotten expensive.
Yeah. And I mean, I like it because it's, it's like a step up from fast food in terms of like nutrition. But I was driving to my son's concert and, it's like a 2-hour drive. And I knew that I would grab some food along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, well, because, like I said, it's a step up from fast food, I stopped at Panera.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got chicken salad, so I couldn't eat it in the car. I got a sandwich.
Oh.
And I couldn't eat in the car, so I sat there. And then I looked at the time, and it was like, I missed the beginning of the concert. Because I just was like, when sometimes you look at the clock, and it was like 12:30, and I'm like, okay, it's 12:30 now. For the next hour, I thought it was 12:30. Like, no, that's not how this works. No. So, yeah. I missed it. I missed some of it. But anyway, my point was, like, I ordered a whole sandwich, and then I pulled it out of the bag, and it was half a sandwich, and I was like, it's only half. And I looked at the receipt, and I'm like, I guess seems like they charged me for all of it. But then I ate it, and I was like, well, I guess I don't even really need all of it.
But still.
And then I looked in the bag, and the other half was in the bag. So then that made me even later, because I'm like, well, now I'm going to eat the other half of the sandwich.
Boy, would you have been embarrassed if you tromped back in there saying,
like, hey,
where's the other half of my sandwich?
They're like, ma'am, it's in the bag. So, yeah. Pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I find that, we don't go, well, obviously, since we're not all here, but, we don't go out, like, as a family or just the two of us to restaurants. Like, we're more likely to either order in or, one person stops when they, they're out and they need something and that kind of thing. But when we're all at home, we do tend to go out sometimes, because it's also a good way to force everyone to sit together.
Well, that's true.
Talk, which may not happen otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. We had a good experience, a good restaurant experience. I think it was for my husband's birthday. He turned 70, and I felt like we got to do something. Yeah. So I asked him where he wanted to go out to eat. And he picked this place that I think he and I went once when we were dating. It's like a nice restaurant, the kind of place we don't really go since we've had kids.
Yeah.
I think of it as being kind of a fancy restaurant. And I looked at their menu online, and everything looked expensive and kind of fancy. And I'm like, are you sure this is where you want to go? Yeah. And, I can't say it's too expensive for your 70th birthday. So.
Right.
The four of us went, and it was really nice. It was the decor inside was much warmer than I remembered. And the waiter was they had misjudged how many people they were going to have that night, because it's a relatively small place. And so they had sent some of the wait staff home, and then a whole bunch of people came without reservations. We made reservations. So things were slow, and the guy kept apologizing. But it was nice. It was a real pleasant place to be sitting. We talked to each other, and, there was bread on the table, and we were in no hurry at all. And we just had the nicest night out. And really, it wasn't much more expensive than the diner we go to. So, and it was so maybe sometimes a place to go is a small business in your area rather than the chain. That place you drive by and you think, I wonder what that is. Maybe go there sometime. And even if it's overpriced and you feel bad about that, you're helping a local business. You're helping a small business person.
Yeah.
And they could use it. Goodness knows right about now.
Absolutely.
So, as could our podcast use your support by telling all your friends about it. Share us on social media. Keep listening. Just, leave it playing in a room and go about your business so that we get 150 downloads. That'd be cool. But, spread the word about how delightful our prattling is. Or if there's somebody you don't like and want them to be bored and upset, pass on our podcast. It's fine. We don't mind. As long as you get those downloads. That's fine.
That's right.
But that is it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup this week. Next week, we will get back to our Reservation Dogs watch with Season 3, Episode 1, Bussin', and Episode 2, Maximus. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/momitude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terri.
Goodbye, everybody.